If you are a Pet Pals fan, I think you might want to hear this. If you don't know what Pet Pals is, it is an Italian kids cartoon by Gruppo Alcuni. I'm sure all of you seen it, but there are people who never seen it before. I've never seen the most brutal and disturbing Pet Pals footage in my life. I was home alone. My sister went out with her friends. My parents are in the grocery store. I was pretty bored, so I wanted to go to a street market or any market in town. I went to Goodwill store because it was a few blocks away from my house. I was going through toy, DVD and VHS aisle. The DVD caught my eye the most. I go through the DVDs until a Pet Pals VHS caught my attention. The VHS was warped in a green wrapping paper. It also had a Pet Pals logo as a sticker in the front. I looked at the price and to my surprise, it is very cheap. I walked my way to the cashier and pulled out my wallet. I paid the VHS and went back home. When I came home, I didn't see anyone around. It looks like I'm still home alone. I looked at the VHS and removed the green wrapping paper. The VHS was labeled as Pet Pals the 5th series, Episode 2 Little Wizard deleted draft not suitable for airing. I was puzzled at the not suitable for airing part because first of all, Pet Pals is a kiddie cartoon, and there's no way a kid's cartoon like this would be scary, disturbing or anything like that. And you're all probably wondering who Little Wizard is. Well, he is a creamy furred, but rather strange looking elf that looks like an elf but also something else in appearance. He is like an elf mixed in with another animal. Like I said earlier, he has creamy fur, he's elf-eared, green fluffed up hair covered by a red wizard hat, red eyes, carrot colored nose and weird orange things on his cheeks that looks like war paint. A thin, not that thin, tail with orange on the tip of his tail. Here is a photo of him. Cute, right? And to be honest, he is one of my favorite characters. Anyways, I inserted the VHS into my VHS player. Just as the VHS started playing, there was a warning screen saying, "Warning, the following Pet Pals footage you're about to see contains disturbing and graphic content. It is also not suitable for children under 3 and for the sensitive people with weak hearts. Viewer discretion is advised." I was puzzled and angry at the same time, because there's is no way Gruppo Alcuni made the cartoon with so much graphic violence. The show started. It started with Little Wizard looking through the hallway spying on Crow Witch, which was ordinary in the episode. However, the scene cut to black. It lasted for 60 seconds before going back to Little Wizard spying on Crow Witch from the entrance of one of her wizard's rooms. This is when things got scary. Ambrogio, Crow Witch's butler, sneaks behind Little Wizard with a bat. It then cuts to a close-up of Ambrogio. Oh my god, he looks very terrifying. He was covered in blood and guts and his eyes are hollow black with red eyes. Little Wizard turns around seeing the bloody covered vulture bird. Little Wizard lets out an ear-piercing scream before being whacked with a bat by Ambrogio. Little Wizard's scream was so loud, it made my ears bleed. The screen cut to black for 30 seconds. The scene fades in showing Little Wizard finding himself pinned on the wall in a dark room which looks like it's covered in blood and guts. I gagged at the sign of the room filled with blood and guts. Next thing that happened scared me really bad. Crow Witch comes in looking very scary. She's covered in blood, and has bloody red eyes. She pulls out a knife and approaches Little Wizard saying,
"It's time for you to die."
Crow Witch starts stabbing Little Wizard brutally, as he screams in agony like if his voice actor is being murdered badly. Hyper-realistic blood splattered everywhere and on screen. Little Wizard's screaming is still heard until the scene cuts to Crow Witch again. Next thing scared me to death. Crow Witch summoned a chainsaw and said,
"Now it's time for the main event."
And starts up the chainsaw. Just about when the chainsaw makes contact with Little Wizard, the scene cut to black, hearing nothing but Little Wizard's screams of agony, blood splattering and Crow Witch laughing maniacally. After 1 minute of this, it cuts to Lit Wizard's dead corpse. I couldn't stand the sign of his corpse. His eyes were pulled out, his stomach was torn open with guts sticking out, his nose was ripped off and there was a pool of blood forming under him. I paused the episode and went to the bathroom to vomit in the toilet. I then go back to my room and resume the episode. The scene cuts to Crow Witch up close. She was staring at the camera heavily, she said.
You watched this tape, didn't you? You're next.
I was scared, so I tried to turn off the TV, but it wouldn't turn off. It didn't even turn off when I used a remote. I have no choice but to finish watching the VHS. After this horrifying line from Crow Witch, instead of playing the credits, a message displayed on screen saying 2013 Grupo Alcuni, and the TV turned off by itself. I was pale like a ghost. What is this? What was Grupo Alcuni thinking? I want to know the answer, but sometimes, the smartest thing to do is just stay away from those questions. I will never look at the Pet Pals the same way again. Whatever you do, stay away from the mysterious VHS tapes from cartoon companies, or else you will experience the same thing I did.